Maniacs, welcome back to the channel. Your local bedhead here. So we are going to be diving into a subject that should be kind of interesting. It's about Zak Bagans. Haven't talked about that guy in a while. I just know he's insanely entertaining, pretty funny, over the top. Don't really believe in most, if not 95% of the paranormal evidence he captures. He's just become one of those kind of dudes in the paranormal field, and I think a lot more people are kind of noticing that this kind of guy is just not really, it doesn't feel like he's taking it seriously, because every location he goes into, it's not really about doing an investigation, more of just kind of putting it out there that the paranormal is happening in those locations. There's never an investigation. Never. I have not seen a video or a Ghost Adventures episode where it just turned out to be not haunted. Everything is haunted, and that is what I kind of look for, and that's what's kind of sketchy to me, because I've been, wanting to go out to more locations, but the first location I went to, which I thought was extremely haunted, we just didn't get a whole lot. So I just believe that there are a lot of people out there overhyping it more than they need to, and instead of actually doing investigations, they're out there trying to just entertain their audiences, which is important too. Don't get me wrong, you obviously want to entertain your audiences, but I think there should be a fine line, because at the end of the day, you are putting yourself out there as an honest investigator. You're putting yourself out there as somebody who is capturing real evidence. And for some reason, even knowing, yes, I can understand the entertainment value to it and people getting entertained and having fun, I also can't really understand why these individuals would want to ever lie to their audiences, the people who got them to where they are to begin with, and then continuously lie to their faces and treating them like idiots, because that's what I think you're doing, is you're treating your own audiences, the people that trust you, like idiots. And it's not cool. I just don't buy it. And I don't think all of it is intentional. I think there are some channels who actually do this kind of stuff, overhype unintentionally, and that's just the case sometimes, I feel. But no, Zak Bagans is like one of the biggest examples of that, but he apparently is going to be doing a paranormal investigation at the Poltergeist house. Now, Poltergeist is a 1982 horror film that has to deal with a family moving into a house and paranormal advances happen, right? So yeah, it's a pretty great movie, and if you have not seen it, rest in peace Heather O'Rourke and a couple of others who passed away from making that movie, or not from making the movie, but who worked on the movie. So we're going to go ahead and dive into the article by TMZ, and I'll give you guys my personal thoughts. Now, I do have an opinion right now, but I will wait to see what they say first. So here we go. All right. Zak Bagans, Poltergeist house will be my next investigation. This was posted on 10/30/2024, so we're a few days late, but I'm okay with that. Now, one of the first things that went through my mind when I heard this was Zak Bagans is doing this because he has the doll. He has one of the Poltergeist dolls, the original used on set clowns from the original Poltergeist movie, which is like probably the most iconic scene of the movie. Everybody talks about that. Even Scary Movie 2 parodied that scene. So here we go. Yeah, and I would love that clown, by the way. I think that's awesome. Zak Bagans is planning to take his Ghost Adventures team to the famous, keyword right there, the famous Poltergeist house for his next in-person investigation, TMZ has learned. The paranormal experts tell TMZ his team will be heading to I think this is Semi Valley, California home, which was featured heavily in the horror classic in mid-November, with plans to investigate some of the spookier aspects of the abode. Zak says the preliminary research shows the new owner got badly affected by something from inside the house, and that the homeowner specifically reached out to them in hope of getting answers. That is a nice house. Okay, so apparently the homeowner is experiencing some things, which is interesting. So hopefully he'll say what he's been experiencing so we get an idea. It's a very nice looking house. It's a very fucking nice looking house, actually. That's crazy looking. Okay. Zak and his team will be the first paranormal experts ever to investigate the house, which hit the market for the first time in 45 years this summer. According to the Ghost Adventure star, the new owner from Los Gatos, I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, Los Gatos, who hopes to transform the house into an Airbnb, replicating the 1982 film. Okay, well now it hits differently. I gotcha. Okay. So that changes things up a little bit. So the new homeowner wants to turn this into an Airbnb replicating the 1982 film. So he wants to open this up to the public, I'm assuming. Yep, I am now seeing a different light to this altogether. So the place is wanting to be opened as an Airbnb replicating the 1982 film. So they want to recapture that movie and yada, yada, yada. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and continue, and then I'll talk about it. told him they suffered from 2 separate dizzy spells while inside the home. Zak says the homeowners also told him that they had a bad feeling, nausea, chills, and a pulling sensation at the property, despite having no health issues. Okay, so nausea and chills are that can happen from just having a cold, right? I mean, you could literally have a cold and have nausea and chills. That does not mean it's obviously paranormal. The pulling part is, I guess, potentially paranormal, but I'm beginning not to believe it now. And I'm not trying to call the owners liars. I'm not trying to do that. But unfortunately, after reading a certain line in this article, I'm beginning to see where this is going. All right. Apparently, things got so bad at one point, the owner had to sit down on the staircase before feeling normal again. Zak says he also spoke with the family member tied to the previous owner, who revealed multiple relatives passed away in the home, including an uncle and grandfather. Okay, well, that's kind of interesting. Okay, so we have an uncle and grandfather who apparently supposedly had passed away in the actual house. Okay, well, that's something that could, I guess, resolve in paranormal activity, for sure, for sure. For those unfamiliar with the Poltergeist franchise, many believe in the curse following the premature deaths of stars Heather O'Rourke and Dominic Dunne. Despite all that, Zak makes it clear he isn't going into the investigation with any preconceived notions about the house being haunted. He adds, but the fact that there has been at least 2 deaths in the house was so extensively for a film with very notorious curse attached to it does not mean it was cursed, Zak. Does not mean it was cursed. These could be just natural, unfortunate tragedies. Does not mean there was a curse involved, and the film is the reason why. But people have the sense that when a paranormal movie is made and people pass away, not just on the set but outside of making the movie, that means that the film is automatically just cursed, right? That's what it means. It doesn't. If it was like a film like, I don't know, National Lampoon's Vacation or something, and someone died on the set, it's not a curse. But if it's like The Exorcist, it automatically is a cursed film. I've seen The Exorcist probably about 500 times now, and nothing's happened. So, it's not, I don't believe it's really necessarily cursed. They're probably assuming that whoever made the film is, but I don't really buy that too much. I think people just like to kind of connect the two because, paranormal movies and, people have passed away, unfortunately. And Heather O'Rourke was at like the age of 12, I think, when she passed away, which was so insanely unfortunate. My mom actually met her at Universal Studios. Yeah, met her at Universal Studios and actually got to swim in the swimming pool with them. And apparently there's actual footage in this house of that. So if I ever find it one day, I will actually try my best to bring it up on YouTube and show you guys. But yeah, very, very sad that she passed away at a young age. Yeah, but of course he was going to try to make a connection about the film and the curse and everything and yada, yada, yada. Of course he was going to do that. Zak Bagans also plans to bring the film's original clown doll, which I already knew he had, which he acquired for a whopping $80,000 back in 2020. Happy haunting, Zak. So he's going to bring the clown there. He's going to do something with it. Kind of reminds me of what I did for the Blair House. I brought my clown doll back there named Jasper to the Blair House to see if anything would happen, but nothing happened. So he's going to bring the actual Poltergeist doll to the house, which it does feel, okay, we're going to get back to what I was wanting to talk about. So this Airbnb thing. Guys, I'm sorry, but this kind of sounds like a setup to sell the Airbnb or to get people to rent it. Now you have an opportunity to stay the night at the Poltergeist house. And guess what? It's haunted because Zak Bagans says so. That's what it's beginning to feel like. And if it was that serious, why get Ghost Adventures? Why get arguably the most popular ghost hunting team on television to come and investigate your new Airbnb that so happened to be the same place that Poltergeist was filmed at? And Zak Bagans so happens to have one of the most popular movie props from the film, and he's taking it there. Of course, it just feels like a giant setup to help this owner get business. And not only that, but obviously give Zak Bagans a reason to use the doll and have a very popular location to do it at. It feels too perfect. It feels like, oh, how can we amp everything up a bit? Why don't we do filming locations? Next, it's going to be the actual Exorcist house where the Exorcist movie was filmed because someone felt uneasy walking through the living room. I don't know. It doesn't feel real. I don't want to try to come off like I'm calling the owner a liar, but it does not feel legitimate. And then when saying that you want to use it as an Airbnb and replicate the 1982 movie, I almost highly doubt this place is really haunted. I don't know. I haven't investigated myself, but having said all that, what do you guys think? Do you guys agree with me? Do you guys disagree with me? Are you guys excited to see this episode of Ghost Adventures? Let me know in the comment section down below. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I will do more stuff like this if you guys want me to. I'll tackle it. And until next time, please do take care.
going down.